Hello, I'm Milo DuQuette, and I'm here to tell you about my new book. So I'm warning you right now. I'm telling you about my new book, Young Aleister Crowley, The Magician's Revolt, and it's published by the good folks at Wiser Books, and it's out. It's out, and I want to tell you a little something about it. It's a novel. Now, I've only written one other novel, okay? I usually write about mystical things and magic and things like that, and Aleister Crowley. But this is a novel. I had great fun writing it, and I wrote it in collaboration with my good friend Jim Bratkowski, who is a filmmaker. And we did it toward an eye toward a film project, because I think the world is overdue for a fun film about Aleister Crowley. Now, it is not a biography of Aleister Crowley. I'll explain more in just a second. It's about young Aleister Crowley in the years that I'm covering here. Aleister Crowley looks something like this. That's young Aleister Crowley. Now, if you're watching this and are not familiar at all with who Aleister Crowley was, I'm going to give you a little background right now, if I can get a little light here. Crowley's known today kind of as two things: a great occultist, kind of a prophet, kind of a weird holy man, and a black magician and a devil worshiper. Okay. Both are true up to a point. Okay. In his day, they called him a black magician, the wickedest man in the world, and he called himself the Beast 666. Paradoxes seem to define the life and career of Edward Alexander Aleister Crowley. Yes, in many ways he was a scoundrel. There's no doubt that he wallowed shamelessly in his carefully cultivated persona as England's literary and spiritual bad boy. At the same time, he took life and himself very seriously. Among other distinctions, he was a world-class mountaineer, a chess master, painter, poet, sportsman, big game hunter, novelist, critic, and theatrical producer. He introduced America to astrology. That's quite a long story, too. Isadora Duncan, he introduced to the I Ching. He introduced Aldous Huxley to mescaline. And he introduced the poet Victor Newberg to hiking and high magic. As an agent provocateur, or an agent provocateur, writing for an English-language German propaganda newspaper in New York, he penned the outrageous and inflammatory editorials that provoked a reluctant United States Congress to enter the First World War on England's side. During the Second World War, at the request of friend and naval intelligence officer Ian Fleming, Crowley provided Winston Churchill with valuable insights into the superstitions and magical mindset of the leaders of the Third Reich. He also, if reports can be believed, advised Winston Churchill to exploit the Nazis' magical paranoia by having himself photographed as much as possible, giving the two-fingered V for victory gesture. This signal is the manual version of the magical symbol of Apophis and Typhon, a powerful god that, according to magical tradition, is capable of defeating the solar energies represented by the swastika. Astonishingly, Crowley's adventures and achievements, more than any dozen men of ambition and genius could realistically hope to garner in a lifetime, all of that seemed almost to be distractions when weighed against his monumental exploits of self-discovery. His visionary writings and his efforts to synthesize and integrate the esoteric spiritual systems of the East and West make him one of the most fascinating cultural and religious figures of the 20th century. Inspiration to the beat generation of the 1950s and patron saint of the psychedelic 60s, he is hailed by many today as the prophet of a new aeon of human consciousness. Aleister Crowley has become, in the minds of many, an icon of human liberation, a mythological anti-hero, whose life and message blazes with all the holy man virtues of a saint and all the satanic vices of the devil himself. The hero of our novel, I'll hold it up again, the hero of our novel, young Aleister Crowley. But our story is pure fiction, a work of our imaginations. Our antagonists are MacGregor Mathers and Moina Mathers, and many of our featured characters, including the great Irish poet William Butler Yeats, Florence Farr, leading lady and star of the West End stage, Bram Stoker. He's one of our characters. We don't know if he ever met Crowley, but I don't want to spoil things. But Bram Stoker is in the novel. So we got Yeats, Florence Farr, Bram Stoker, the creator of Dracula, T. Eris, Annie Horniman, Wynne Westcott, who was London coroner, an influential Freemason, chemist George Cecil Jones, and England's first Buddhist emissary to the Western world, Alan Bennett. And they were all actual persons. And many of them did, in fact, on occasion interact with Crowley, and each under circumstances closely resembling how they're portrayed in the book. But that is the extent to which our novel even remotely resembles empirical history. In the 120 years since the events of our story unfolded, the ghosts of these long-dead characters have deeply ensconced themselves in the romantic imaginations of modern students of the occult, and have crystallized into mythological caricatures, canonized as patron saints of magic. Young Aleister Crowley, hold up book. Young Aleister Crowley is the tale of these caricatures, not the historic personages upon which they are sometimes irreverently modeled. In fact, the authors, Jim and I, took fiendish delight in bringing these immortal icons of modern magic to fictionalized life. And so you're hereby put on notice that this is not a history book, nor is it a magical textbook, nor is it a biography of Aleister Crowley. It's a novel. It's a fantasy, a fairy tale created with the primary intent of entertaining you. We confess, however, that we have, for the benefit of those with eyes to see and ears to hear, woven within the tapestry of our tale serious spiritual observations, genuine secrets of high magic, tidbits of forbidden knowledge, and a generous serving of arcane wisdom, all designed to subliminally edify as well as amuse. And now we hope you will relax and suspend the burden of your disbelief and enjoy the adventures of young Aleister Crowley by Milo DuQuette and Jim Bratkowski, available now from Wiser Books. Thank you.